Hello everybody, my name is Mark Roden. Welcome back to the channel. How's your day going? My day's going great. It was snowing, so I got called out of work. I'm having a snow day. Who doesn't love a snow day? I love snow days. But today's video is going to be the 10 best first cars for under $3,000. I just want to say a couple things. First thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you everybody who subscribed to the channel. Thank you everybody who's watched the video. Thank you everybody who's followed SmoothStance on Instagram. Thank you for everybody who's even just noticed the name, just said the name SmoothStance before. Thank you, it means a lot. I also want to say that these are all opinion. All my top 10 lists are opinion only. There are other cars out there that you could arguably say are better for under $3,000. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying these are the 10 that I think are the best, the 10 that I like the best. Also, I've been posting on TikTok recently, so follow that, SmoothStance, but I've been posting top 10 sports cars for under $10,000. And I've gotten a lot of comments of people being like, no, that car's not under $10,000, bro. You're wrong, bro. That's not true. Those cars are easily $15K. Like, for example, the Honda S2000 or the Mazda RX-7 FC3S. Both of those cars people said were under $10,000. And now, guys, I would not lie to you. I would never lie to you. I have done my research. Every single car on every single one of the lists that I've made has been under the price range that I said it was, and I did my research to find one. So when you say that it's not there, it's there. I don't know what to tell you. You gotta look hard enough, guys. You gotta look hard enough. Like the S2000, by all means, is not a cheap car. Usually they go for 15K up to 20K. They're expensive cars, but I did find one in New Jersey, clean title, was running and working fine. The only thing that was wrong with it is it needed new tires. The tires were shot on it. It's tires, and it was for $9,000. So every car on this list you can find for under $3,000. So before you comment that car can't be found under $3,000, look into it. Just look into it. Look in different parts of the United States, because in California, for example, a car is going to be a lot more money than a car up in New England. Just look into it, but I'm wasting too much time here explaining myself. Sorry to bore you guys. Let's just get right into the Number 10 is the Subaru Forester, first generation, coming with a 2.5 liter inline 4, making 165 horsepower, and it was sitting on top of an all-wheel drive platform. So if you're in a snowy area, then that's a huge plus. Also, this car has 4 seats and plenty of trunk space. So if you're the guy, trust me, I am. So if you're the guy that drives your friends around on the weekends, this is a pretty good choice. Also, if you're into modifying cars, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this video, they have a plethora. I love that word, by the way, plethora. They have a plethora of mods available to them, and you'll be somewhat unique since Foresters aren't the most modified cars on the market right now. But with that being said, they still do have a tight-knit community for them. The car is relatively slow, let's be honest, but with all the aftermarket support that you get from it, you can easily bring that horsepower up. Just don't expect to beat, the rich kid Chad's BMW 540i. It's just a Forester. Number 9 is the BMW E46 Sedan, coming with a 3 liter inline 6, making 225 horsepower, sitting on top of a rear wheel drive platform, which, guys, yeah, obviously that isn't ideal for snowy areas, but if you can drive safely, then you can manage it. You can manage to drive a rear wheel drive car during the winter. It's going to be hard, but it can happen. The reason why I chose the sedan over the coupe is because if you're in high school, you're going to have to get it by your parents. And if you tell your parents you want a rear-wheel drive coupe car, they're going to say no all day long, especially since it's a BMW, and BMWs notoriously have a lot of problems. But if it's a sedan, they might not even really remember about the whole rear-wheel drive. I know that sounds silly, but it does play a big difference in the parents' eyes if it has 4 doors or 2 doors. Another reason the BMW E46 is a great choice is the aftermarket community. For the aftermarket community is absolutely massive. You can do pretty much anything to these cars, and for relatively cheap too, which is surprising considering it's a BMW. Also, once you start modding it, all the kids at school think you're the one with the daddy's money, and that's not really cool at all. So just, you don't really want that part. But besides that, it's a really cool car. Number 8 is the Chevy Camaro, specifically the F-body. It looks like a catfish. And it came with a 3.8 liter V6, making 200 horsepower on top of a rear wheel drive platform. And I know you want to get the V8. I know, guys, everybody wants to get the V8 Camaro, but it's going to be a lot more and extremely hard to get by your parents. This car is either going to be way too tough to get by your parents, considering it's a Camaro, and everyone knows Camaros are race cars. But since it has the V6 and not the V8, it might be possible. You might be able to whittle your way around it. If you do manage to get it by them, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. They are the ugliest Camaros, but they absolutely love to race, get sideways, do burnouts. So please, if you do get one, don't tell your parents and do not tell the cops that I was the one that told you to get it. Number 7 is the Nissan Sentra. I know, that's a weird car, but it came with a 1.8 liter inline-4 making up to 176 horsepower. That's not bad, and it's on top of a front-wheel drive platform, so for the winter areas, there you go. These cars are not going to be the most fun, I'm not gonna lie, and by all means, they definitely do not have the biggest community or look the best on the list, but they are rather unique. This car is more for the guy who just wants to get started in cars. Doesn't really have big plans, maybe an intake, some wheels, coilovers, but mainly wants to learn on something so the next car he buys can be a beast. I think this is a great starter platform, and it can take a little beating, all while still being very reliable and great on gas mileage. It's a pretty good car if you just want to get started in learning how the mechanics of a car works. Number 6 is the Acura TL, second generation, and it came with a 3.2 liter V6 making 258 horsepower on top of a front-wheel drive platform, and to be honest, that's a pretty good number for your first car. 258 horsepower is not bad. It's also one of the newer cars on this list, and it's front-wheel drive and has 4 doors, so the parents would definitely let it slide. It has great gas mileage with a decent sized community around them. I'm not gonna lie, it's not as big as a Civic, but it's getting there. The TL is still relatively a new platform that people are still kind of learning on, weirdly enough, even though it's pretty old, but it's a great platform because it's basically a Honda. So if you want to learn, once again, like the Sentra, this is a good choice. It's honestly probably a better choice. And the second gen, which is personally in my eyes the best looking, is getting surprisingly cheap. Number 5, halfway through the list, and it's the Lexus IS300, and it came with a 3 liter inline-6 making 215 horsepower on top of a rear-wheel drive platform. And once again, these cars had 4 doors, so there you go. This one should be pretty easy to get by your parents. It's not a big motor, it doesn't have a turbo. It is rear-wheel drive, so it's going to be a little bit tough, but it's just a simple Lexus. And once you do, you literally have the little brother to one of the most legendary engines ever built under the hood. That's right, baby. The Lexus IS300 came with a 2J, but not the GTE, so do not get that excited. It's just the 2JZ GE. It's naturally aspirated 2JZ GTE, but if you slap a turbo on that bad boy somehow in high school, if you can afford to slap a turbo on a car and go ripping around the Walmart parking lot with all your friends, oh boy, you will have a great experience. Oh my god, let me tell you, that will be the best high schooler's life that you can have right there. If you buy yourself a Lexus IS300, slap a turbo on it, you're set, you're golden. Number 4 is the Subaru WRX, specifically the Bugeye, and it came with a 2 liter turbocharged inline-4 making 227 horsepower. It's pretty nice. And on top of that, it was sitting on top of an all-wheel drive platform, and once again, this one will be very hard to get by your parents. Everybody is starting to learn what the WRX name is. Everybody is learning that a WRX is a sports car. It's fast. It's not something that you want to mess around with, and it has a turbo, so they're not going to like that. But you can tell them, you know, guys, it's all-wheel drive. I can drive it during the winter, and you might be able to get it by them. It's going to be hard, though. I'm not going to lie. There's a reason everyone up north either owns a truck or a WRX. They're the best way to have a good time for cheap while also staying safe, but unfortunately, they like to blow up, so hopefully you're a little bit mechanically inclined. Third place is personally my favorite Audi ever built, and it's the Audi A4 B5, and it came with a 1.8 liter turbocharged inline-4, making 190 horsepower on top of an all-wheel drive platform, specifically the legendary Quattro platform, which literally birthed the WRX, so that's why I've put it higher on the list. And this one may not be the best choice considering it's an Audi, so parts aren't cheap and it's not easy to work on, but it is a fun platform, and personally, I think they look absolutely mesmerizing. The car, it's so simple, but just works so well. The car should be pretty easy to get by your parents because not a lot of people know about the A4 B5 being such a powerful car. The turbo part might be a little bit difficult, but you can argue that turbos are the future because of how good they can be for gas mileage and daily driving, and you'll be all set. Second place is the Infiniti G35 Sedan, and it came with a 3.5 liter V6 making 305 horsepower, which is the fastest on this list. And it came with either an all-wheel drive or a rear-wheel drive option. If you live in a place where it snows, buy the all-wheel drive. If you live in a place where it doesn't snow, buy the rear-wheel drive. It's as simple as that. These cars are one of the best ways to get started with the drifting community and the car community, since it seems like everyone in the community nowadays either has a G or has a Z. And there is one of the biggest aftermarket communities for any car in the world is the G platform. The Gs and the Zs have such a huge platform behind them. You can do pretty much anything you want to this car, and you basically are getting a 350Z with 4 doors. And if you don't tell your parents that, if you don't tell them that it's basically a 350Z, they will love this car. But there's only one car that can beat the G35, and it has got to be the Honda Civic. Absolutely any generation of them, they're all a good choice, and they range in horsepower from 140 to 200. Around the amount that you're going to be able to buy is going to be around 140 to 200. All of them are front-wheel drive, and they're quite literally the epitome of a first car. They're almost too perfect, if I'm being honest. The aftermarket community is the biggest of any car in the world. Parts are dirt cheap, pennies on the dollar. They're super easy to work on. Your parents will absolutely love it. They're extremely reliable, and on top of all that little boring stuff that nobody actually cares about, they are still a really fun car once you start to put some modifications into them. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that you're going to have a bunch of fun with a stock 99 Honda Civic. No, but if you start to put some, oomph into that Civic, you're going to know what the definition of fun is by the end of that day. Now, if you can, go for the SI model, since most of the SI models were significantly better than the base models. Like, I'm talking a lot better. But if you can't, you can still easily push power and have unbelievable amounts of fun, all for under $1,000. Look it up on YouTube. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of budget Civic builds for literally $1,500, and they have a turboed Civic. It's unbelievable how easily it is to modify these cars and make them fun. And your parents will love it. Alrighty guys, that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed, pretty please, with a cherry on top, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It means a lot to me. Also, if you made it this far, comment down below what other top 10s you want to see, what other compilation videos you want to see, any video that you want to see that I can do, and I'll do it. I will try my best to get it happening. As you guys know, I'm still looking around for a project car to start modifying for the channel. That's taken a while. Just gotta find the right one. That's the problem. But if you guys enjoyed, and if you guys want to support me even more, if you want a hoodie or some stickers, you know where to go. But I'm gonna tell you anyway, because maybe you don't know where to go, and it's www.smoothstance.com/shop. And with that out of the way, guys, das vidania. Have a nice day.